Alright, Budget Magic, Goblins in Standard, and this hand is awesome. 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, pretty much exactly what we want. Nomad Outpost for our opponent. And a Fiery Impulse, also not bad. So lead on Glory Chaser. Pass the turn. So our opponent on Mardu? Well, I mean, I assume they're on some sort of Mardu. So we will just... Yeah, let's just Pile Driver. Get in for one with our Glory Chaser. Sweet. No removal spell. It's good news. Windswept Teeth. Sacks it. What do they got? Plains. Huh. Drana. So, allies of some kind. Well, I guess we just Hordling Outburst. Make a bunch of goblins. Get in with the Glory Chaser, since it has Menace, the ability that is on every card these days. Wait. Yeah, alright. Thought I misread it for a minute, but I do know how Menace works, thankfully. Alright. So we got a pretty sweet board. That Drana keeps us from attacking. Good news is if they leave Drana on defense, we can Dragon Fodder into Fiery Impulse to kill the Drana. We need 2 spells in our graveyard to make this into a Lightning Bolt. That can only hit creatures, unfortunately. Nantucket Husk. So our opponent going to attack, or are they going to play defense? They go with the defense plan. Wild Slash. Well, let's go with Wild Slash and Nantucket Husk. Fiery Impulse to Drana. Wow, can we just win right here? Dash the Mardu Scout. This is a lot of damage. It might be lethal damage here on turn 4. 11. Oh, way lethal. Pile Driver is quite the card. Oh my gosh. That was a massacre. I think we want Outpost Sieges and more removal. Taking out on the play, or on the draw, the Glory Chasers. We also have these Impact Tremors. The Subterranean Scouts. And a couple Heel Cutters. Actually, no. Guess we can go down to Fiery Impulse. Alright, yeah, I mean, pretty reasonable. Bunch of Goblin tokens, a Pile Driver, and a way to get our Pile Driver through, potentially, with Heel Cutter. It's about what we're looking for. Double Nomad Outpost. Into Expedition Envoy. Yeah, I guess we just Dragon Fodder for now. Shuts down the Expedition Envoy pretty well. Caves of Koilos. What's the follow-up? Oh, Mr. Husk. No attacks. Another Dragon Fodder. Well, let's Dragon Fodder. Swing with everything. Since we have this fiery impulse, if our opponent blocks with the husk, yeah. Our opponent's going to double block. That's fine. So we'll just... Do we want to... We can fire Impulse now. Our opponent sacks Expedition Envoy, and we still get rid of the husk. Yeah, let's do that. Or they don't sack Expedition Envoy. Either way, playing it now lets us keep an extra Goblin token alive, which is good. The next turn we'll probably just go Dragon Fodder into Pile Driver, and then hopefully Heel Cutter for the win the following turn, if our opponent doesn't have removal or anything. Is this Drana? Harspex. Alright, Dragon Fodder. Pile Driver. So Pile Driver can attack for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we will be able to attack for 21 next turn if our opponent can't do anything. Wow. And a collateral damage. Alright. This deck is super aggressive. This is turn 5 on the draw, and we're going to attack for 21 damage. Assuming our opponent can't kill Pile Driver. Pile Driver gets huge. Harspex can't block. And I think that's just lethal. 20 damage all in one shot. Whoo! This deck is pretty strong. Oh no, they have a way to ruin our plans? Murderous Cut. So, do we need to sack it? We're getting for 3, 8. We can sack it to kill the Harspex. That might be the thing to do. Just get the Harspex off the table. I think that's fine. I thought we were going to have the huge kill, but we're still in fine shape. We hit our opponent down to 12. They have 3 cards in hand. And we can keep dashing this Heel Cutter. So Heel Cutter bounces back to our hand. Opponent has a Battlefield Forge. Zulaport Cutthroat. Okay. That'll be good if they ever get to rally. And Hangerback, X1. Alright, play the land. Dash the Heel Cutter. Make it so the Hangerback can't block. If our opponent wants to give up their Cutthroat, that's fine. Although it's still good with the rally plan. Well, not as much. They had to exile 2 of their creatures, so the rally plan isn't as scary anymore. They are going to chump Heel Cutter by the looks. So they gain 1 and take 4, so it'll be an 8. So we're basically back to the having lethal next turn plan, unless they draw a removal spell. Actually, another creature keeps them alive too. Another creature, they could block the Heel Cutter. Well, what's their last card? If it's a land, we got it. Appears to be a non-land. Ooh, Butcher. Butcher is interesting. That does keep our opponent alive, I think. Because he can sack to give it lifelink, but we can make it not block. So I think we're going to like hit our opponent to 1. Make the butcher not block. Our opponent can block with the hanger back. Ooh, does that change it? I think it does. I think the Mardu Scout actually wins us the game. Mardu Scout and Heel Cutter make the butcher not block. Yep, the extra dash creature should do it. Opponent's empty-handed, so we're not worried about a murderous cut or something. Swing with everyone. Okay, this isn't out for our opponent. They can, yep. They can activate hanger back, sack the hanger back to get 2 tokens, to have 2 blockers. And this does allow our opponent to just barely stay alive. We attack with everything. Keep the butcher from blocking. Our opponent has to block Scout and the Heel Cutter and drop to 1. No, you gotta drop. You gotta block Heel Cutter. There you go. Figured our opponent just made a fairly heads-up play with sacking their Hangerback Walker to stay alive. So, would be odd if they just randomly blocked wrong after making a decent play. But I think we are still at the it doesn't matter. Does a rally even beat us? No, I don't think. Well, do they have a cutthroat? They do. Rally 1, 2, 3. Rally might. I don't think it beats us, but it might keep our opponent alive. And draw them a bunch of cards. They can sack out their board to the butcher. So Rally, I think, is their maybe out. I don't think any other cards in the deck matter. If they have a Rally, though, they might have a chance to stay alive. They'd sack 1. That would die. 2, 3. They'd gain 3 life. Are they just going to Rally right now? So our opponent did top deck Rally. I guess it's better to use it on offense than on defense, because then you can get the lifelink from the butcher. Well, that was a huge draw for our opponent. Makes a game out of it, at least, somewhat. So they get a trigger from the hanger back dying. They draw a card from the cutthroat. Then they can sack. Well, they sack Haruspex to the butcher. That's another trigger. Puts them up to 3. Puts them up to 8. Sack the cutthroat itself. Puts them up to 9. I think they. This might have been wrong. I think they need to do it in a different order. I think they need to sack the Haruspex, even though they gain 1 less card. Because they want it. They need to leave. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, we still have lethal here, and they don't even have enough cards for a murderous cut. So I guess maybe it didn't matter. Like, it made things look good, but it wasn't enough to win. Dash Mr. Heel Cutter. Swing with everyone and close it out. Sweet. Well, we got there. Mono-Red Goblins getting it done.